Okay, so it is that time of the year once again when we get into the three-legged Work Riders Challenge. Starts at the Vaal on a Thursday, and it is on the outside track. All things being equal, we will finally get on the outside track. The last two meetings have had to be relocated from the outside track into the inside track, the classic track, and it certainly worked a dream. And we've had a pleasant day's racing when some of us were skeptical making our way there. Right, it is, of course, social media contacts. It is the X handle that has been shown. And we've also got a WhatsApp number to get your thoughts across. And of course, after the running off at the opening leg of the Work Riders Challenge, you can come through and give us your thoughts as to what you thought were the highlights of the afternoon. Right, race number one, Mr. Marie. This is the For Racing welcomes you. Work Riders maiden plate for fillies and mares. It's over the 1,000 meters. And of course, we welcome you to our preview for the first leg of the Work Riders Challenge 2024-2025.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Cecil. You know, I love these challenges. Really looking forward to this meeting.
I should correct myself. I'm way ahead. 2023, 2024, rather than... Sorry.
Yeah, I had a look at the betting for the first race. I've got respect for number one, Delphi Dancer.
Yes.
You know, she was off the track for 7 months. She's been backed up quite soon. A little bit too short in the market, but I think that has to do with the opposition of here. So of the race runners, I've got preference for Bellisivar. Let's just touch on Fani's hit a bit of form.
Yes. So, I mean, basically, if Delphi Dancer was to come through and win, you'd have 3 winners on the trot.
On the trot, yeah. But now Bellisivar is the 2-year-old. She's set to carry 57. One can say she didn't show anything in her 2 starts to date, especially her second outing. But have a listen to the first form line of Almond C, Cecil. These are the fillies that finished behind her. Behind her, right? Force 8, come out to win. You Bring Me Joy has come out to win 2. Peace of Mind has won. Queen of Fire has won. So there's several winners behind her in that form line. And then the first time I see she's been priced up.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Golden Chandelier?
Yeah, but she was ahead of her.
Okay.
Yeah. She's won 2, obviously. And then Offer the Light is the first timer. Had a look at her breeding. Her dam won 3 races between 1,200 and 1,400. She's related to Pinch Hit. So I'm playing the safe route in the opening leg of the bipot. 1, 7, and 9. Preference for the 2-year-old.
1, 7, and 9 preference for the 2-year-old, and that is Bellisivar, a 2-year-old, a daughter of Var, and that is how we start our meeting. Our first exotic is a bipot, 360 Rand. You've got to be on by 12:45, the start of the Work Riders Challenge for this season. On to our second exotic of the afternoon on a Thursday, and this is a Take a Better winner number Work Riders maiden plate. It's over the 1,200 meters, and as far as equipment changes, well, the first timer from the officer stable, number 7, Lake Kivu, will race with Alamites in front only, and also the compression mask is applied. And then the 9, the Real Deal, that is Mr. Dademasi aboard for us, Shayla Naidu, that will race with the tongue ties. Now, having a look at the betting for race number 2, we've got the 2, Trombotista, who was once again scratched over the weekend. That was due to run. That is at 15-10. The 1 Pala Millions is at 22-10. And then you're looking at bigger odds about the rest. The next best is at 17-2. And that is a 4 Oklahoma Twister, Tom Lukele, for the Inform Vandiver Stays and Stable. How are you seeing race number 2, Mr. Marie?
Yeah, Cecil, you touched on Trombotista being scratched over the weekend. Let's just see if he is permitted to line up on Thursday. I'm sure they scratched him with this race in mind. Prior to his last start, we heard Robin saying this horse does too much in his races, and they're bringing him back in trip. So I think that could be a winning recipe. I'll certainly give him a nice chance of. He beat a horse called the Playboy. What was it?
The Playboy Bomber.
Yes.
A Lancaster Bomber came and made all 2 Saturdays ago.
Came out and wins. And he actually beat that horse last time out. So I do have respect for him. I like the look of number 4 of here, Oklahoma Twister. Now, he's ridden by Tom Lukele, who I'm going to say is the likely winner overall, that day winner. You know, I grew up with Tom.
Yes, you did. You've told me on a couple of days. Yeah, and
he actually taught me how to ride, along with my uncle, obviously. But, he's ridden this horse in the past. Second of the course in distance. He's a very patient rider. He'll be doing his best work late. If you're looking to pass the 2 of them, Pala Millions has to be included, and the 2-year-old Spy Story should be able to improve.
I actually remember him winning for the Van der Verstappen stable with Volta Fast, and what a ride! And he really broke it down as to what he intended to do and how it transpired. Yeah, Tom certainly a man to be respected. Two bankers in that P8 is leg 2, number 8, and race 5 rather, leg 4. The 1 is also a banker. 300 rand the outlay, and race 2 is off at 20 past 1. 5 minutes to 2 is your time to race number 3 at tab at Telebet 0861000822. Work riders maiden plate. It's fillies and mares over the 1200 meters. And as far as scratchings are concerned, none. There is the set of blinkers applied to the 3 Perini Palace. And of course, as we go through the work riders first challenge first leg, you can drop us a line via our X handle or our WhatsApp number as to what you see has changed about the whole approach to the work riders events. Right, in race 3, we've got a 2-year-old dominating betting Emerson Marie. It is the 8 intro 13 to 10. Number 7 Red Cherry Lane, a first timer from the Terry stable, 15 to 10. Out from 4 to 1, it's 7s and a better bar those. So the 7 Red Cherry Lane, that is the first time a 3-year-old daughter of Vercingetrix son of a Western Wintermare, Red Berry Lane, certainly looks to have the pedigree. But the 2-year-old top in the boards certainly has the credentials to come through and win.
Absolutely. Now, Intro certainly has shown enough to get it right in this sort of lineup, Cecil. The unknown is number 7, Red Cherry Lane. Now, let's touch on the dam, Red Berry Lane. She won 5 races between 1400 and a mile, so she was well above average. But, Cecil, I just had a look in computer form, jockey and trainer stats. They've never teamed up before. Then I had a look at the work rider. How do you pronounce his surname?
That is Chiki.
Chiki Chiki. This is his first meeting. So now I'm thinking to myself, would Mr. Terry put a work rider who's having his first ride, basically, on a first timer that's really fancied? And I'm saying to myself, no. Because Mr. Terry's a top trainer, he could have given any one of the more experienced work riders a call, and they would have jumped at the opportunity.
Didn't Goodman used to do a lot of work for him? I know that was Jeff Woodruff in the old days. Yeah.
So I'm saying number 8 is going to be very, very hard to beat. Let's touch on her form line. She actually beats a filly called Free in Seattle, who won last night, and Fatal Flaw also won from that form line. I'm sitting here and I'm giving the viewers confidence. Tom Lukele is more than capable. I make her extremely hard to beat.
Okay, so we're going to put up that pick 6, and I dare say we've got a banker. Yes, indeed. And if Intro and Red Cherry Lane should find out the finish, and Mr. Chiki does turn out to be better than you're saying, then we would still survive. That is banker 8, and that's the only banker on the picks in the pick 6 on the afternoon. But a very, very affordable outlay of 720. I'm talking from a percentage perspective, 72 rand for 10%. That is your pick 6. Race 3 is the start. Okay, so the first non-maiden race is the classified stakes race number 4. Good to see, because these work rider events in recent times have been restricted to just maiden plates. Well, this is a classified stakes over the 1,000 meters, and we were talking about an informed stable, Fani Broncos, winning the last 2 at the Vaal on Tuesday, and then it's his last time winner, number 9, a Red Carpet Girl, who's currently priced up as favourite and firming in all the time from 17 to 10, is now at 16 to 10, 28 to 10 about the 1 Lulu's Boy. The 3 in Canada's Gold, a maiden winner recently, 5 to 1, 6 to 1. The 5, JJ's Eagle, it is 15 to 2 and a better bar those. Red Carpet Girl won in an average merit rated field of 60, race number 4. This will be an average rated 70. And you've got the likes of Lulu's Boy also in contention there.
Yeah, Vusunzi rides number 9, Red Carpet Girl. Now, she impressed last night in that she won really hard held. But Cecil, she did pick up quite a penalty. Then again, she's only got 52.5 to shoulder. So Vusunzi really takes the weight off her. Have a look at the best weighted column. Herself and JJ's Eagle are currently best in. Only a pound ahead of Out the Mist. Now, JJ's Eagle, she does come back in trip. If she's not run off her feet, she'll be doing her best work late. I just hope she's in contention going through the 400, because I think she at the weight she's certainly a play over here. I'm looking for a lot of improvement from the 6-year-old Soft Falling Rain. Here Comes the Rain.
Yes.
Now, have a look at how he was at one stage of his career, Cecil. He was as high as a 87. He's down to a 64. Penicilla is one of the top work
Yes,
riders.
indeed.
Blinkers
Mr.
come
Mangau.
off. If you're looking for an upset in this race, which I am, go with a 7. Here comes the rain.
Okay, so there is the suggested jackpot 1, 3, 5, 7, and a 9. And for those who haven't had a close look at the form as of yet, as this plays out, the blinkers are removed off the poor match at charge. As Daryl pointed out, it is a 6-year-old son of soft falling rain. All right, so we're moving on to race number 5, last chance to get involved in a jackpot. This is a race Horse Owners Association work riders maiden plate. It's over the 1,800 meters, and a favoritism and a worthy favorite in my books, but I'm sure Mr. Marie will have his own thoughts. In a Blue Moon at 26 to 10. Number 3, Caliburn is at 7 to 2. 5 to 1 numbers 4, Al Akhtar, and the 5, Master TikTok. 5 to 1. It is Nibble at number 2. Pomo Clapper, that is now 13 to 2, and from 7 to 1, 13 to 2, the 6. And that is Agamemnon and from the Paul Peters stable, or Tony Peters stable. In a Blue Moon, it certainly wouldn't be winning out of turn.
What a character, Cecil. It's a piece of... eh? Are you going to be on course tomorrow?
I'm on course
I
tomorrow,
hope
and I'm
you
looking
interview
forward
him
to it.
several times.
No, no, he's no. In fact, the whole crew, as I say, now these guys are so into their racing and riding. You'll find that they'll spend after they win the opening race, normally on a professionally programmed card.
Yeah.
They'll spend the race watching this afternoon, watching the races that come through, and just discussing race riding, which is so encouraging.
Yeah, I think a lot of effort goes in
Yeah.
on their behalf, and thanks to my uncle, I'm
Yes.
proud of it. He's given them a great
Well,
opportunity.
I'll tell you something else, so that you don't get all the glory. When they launched the program officially, we had it in Igonov
Yes.
at his establishment. A certain Mrs. Moira Hinton, do you remember Moira and Paddy Hinton,
Yes.
big owners for the Ferrara stable, I think it was. Mrs. Mary Slack, Mrs. Diane the Cock were part of, and Alison McKenzie, who's the PA to Mrs. Slack, and myself, we were all part of the launch.
Yeah, like my uncle
come a
always
long way, eh?
touches on the role players.
Yes, yes. Right,
Excuse
so,
me. Yeah.
Mr. Tsepiso Matswele?
Yeah, he knows this horse. Number 1, In a Blue Moon. In his penultimate start, he was just touched off. On that occasion, he was over racing. So I think that's the reason why they've taken the blinkers off. Big runner, Cecil, In a Blue Moon. If you like his chances, Caliburn actually holds him on the no place like home run. But in saying that, In a Blue Moon was returning from a layoff.
Yes.
So
At the stable, we're going through a quietish period.
yeah. So you have to throw in number 3 too, and I wouldn't be surprised if number 4, Al Akhtar, features of here. Fair comeback effort. The form line hasn't worked out, but he's lightly raced and he's having his peak run. He's a son of Savannah out of a Giants Causeway mare. I think he's more than capable of just winning one race. I'd certainly look at boxing the exactas 1, 3, and 4.
1, 3, and 4 for Mr. Marie. Yeah, the 5 Master TikTok has been a bit of a hard horse to follow, but who knows? So that is the story of a race the number 5, and there is the last jackpot selection. Starts race 5, 1, 3, and 4. In that first leg suggested a boxed exacta as well from Daryl. It's an off time of 3:05. All right, so we're heading to that first leg of the last pick 3, race number 6 on the card at the Vaal. And this is a maiden plate that will be contested over the 1,600 meters. Of course, it is 3 more races to go. It gives you a lot of time to get in touch via our X handle or our WhatsApp and get in touch with the guys and just pick their brains. We've got a weekend of racing also coming through, but we are into the first leg of the Work Riders Challenge. Now, the betting has the 10 Incredible Indrani as your favorite at 28 to 10, the 1 City Line 3 to 1, 4 to 1, the 4 Perform, the 12 Sensoria 6 to 1, it's 9 to 1, and a better bar those. Mr. Marie, race number 6. I must say that it is a very competitive and certainly a maiden plate that's got some form to talk of.
Cecil, Sensoria 6 to 1. I think that's lovely value.
Okay.
Take note, the blinkers have been removed and she's been stepped up in trip. Now, I had a look at her dams, how she performed. She won over 2,000 meters and she's out of a dynasty mare. So I think she's going to love the step up in trip. Let me just touch on something of here, Cecil. I need to bring up the form line. There is a form line or winner from that. I think it was Mr. Matchett's filly, Queen of Fire.
Queen of Fire, that was one of a
Excuse me,
double
I'm
for
battling.
Rachel Fennigan
Yes.
recently. Yes.
Queen of Fire indeed. So I'm saying she's lightly raced and she's got a lot of scope for improvements. And you know, since day one, Mr. Borman came out and said he rates this filly. So I think she's actually getting to the distance that she needs now. So number 12 is my first choice. Respect for number 10, Incredible Indrani. Now she's obviously very lightly raced. She's only having her third start. The tongue tie gets removed and she comes back in trip. Last time she tried the 1800, she was over racing. She does need to settle because the mile up the straights is a difficult race to win. And one thing's for certain, you have to be relaxed in running. So if she's overdoing it, she's going to be her own worst enemy. If you take a line through, say it with Roses, she does have the beating of Red Knot, not by much. But Red Knots is another one that could appreciate coming back in trip. So I'm going in order 12, 10, 2.
12, 10, and 2. That is the way Daryl sees the outcome. Hopefully to race number 6, 12, 10, and 2. The first leg off at the last pick 3. 10 and 12 he's put in as his picks for that pick 3, 3, 4, 5, and 7. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, and 10. 48 rand the outlay, and this is off with the anti-penultimate race at 22-4. Our handicap on the afternoon race number 7 is a play soccer 6, 10, and 13 work riders measured at 68. It's over the mile, and we have an odds-on favorite, and it's yet another favorite that could do the business for the connections of a fine bronc horse. Viva de Janeiro off a good win last time out, 17-20. The 4 is Master's Voice, 5-2 has been shortened in to 22-10. H1, the 6 Aunt Pity Pat. The 7 Tumby is at 12-1, 13s and better bar those. Can't recall one of you two learned gentlemen liked a bit of Tumby last time out. Was it yourself or was it Darren Burrows? Or they gave it some sort of a chance?
Yeah, whoever it may have been, Cecil, I think that was a very disappointing run.
Yes,
but the focus was right up the inside in that last race. Yeah, I think he needs to start showing now.
Yeah.
Well, he certainly needs to confirm that that last run was too bad to be true.
Yeah. Viva de Janeiro 17-20, is that a fair reflection?
No, too short. You know, he was never in doubt last time out. Going through the 400, Gavin was climbing all over them. So he won effortlessly. And I think Goodman's going to suit him because Goodman's a very patient rider. He likes to let them languish towards the back. And this is what the Viva needs. So you'll be producing him very late. Strong winning chance. Picked up a hefty penalty last time out, but strong winning chance. I don't know who's going to be taking 8.5 to 10 about him, but I certainly like his chances. His Master's Voice, never in doubt last time out, Cecil. He won. Henny gave him a lovely ride. And he's obviously got a very experienced work rider aboard. So he has to be certainly respected. Walter Foss, Tom teamed up with him again. He'll be hiding him away like he did last time out. He'll be producing him late. And I think he's only 1.5 kilos better off with his Master's Voice to make it hard for him to reverse. But don't discount his chances.
Auntie Pittipat too short, or perhaps being fresh will come back and put up a good effort?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about her chances.
So the double, you've gone 3 Viva de Janeiro, the 4 is Master's Voice. By the way, well done again for that finding it. It was at big odds when you suggested it. The 5 Volta Fast and the 7, that would be Tumby. So Tumby is in there. So I think we found out who really liked Tumby last time out. That is race number 7, first leg of the last double. All right, so we're rounding off our look ahead to racing on a Thursday on the standside track at the Vaal, with the next Vaal race meeting Wednesday, the 17th of April, a work riders maiden plate over the mile. And a reminder once again that we've got that X handle that is accessible to you, as well as our WhatsApp number. Please do get in touch. The weekend is upon us once again, just after racing at the Vaal concludes. Right, we've got betting here, Mr. Marie. And the favorite, yes, you've guessed it, Fine Broncos again. And that that is a Breath of Magic in his colors, a co-favorite of the 4 Pike Place, both at 22 to 10. Number two, at Furious is at 5 to 1. 17 to 2 is the 9 Chieftain's Shield at 10s and better bar those. Now, maybe you can tell us a bit about the first timer. Did you actually see anything that struck a chord with you? That is El Kanani.
No, I didn't.
El Kanani, rather.
I'm just having a look if we do have a comment in the front of the book. We'll need the run.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Breath of Magic, a couple of times that it's run recently, and of course you were talking about that Judgment Day form line 3 races back. In the parade ring, caught the eye of a lot of guys with the good eye for watching horses, and ran 3rd, 5.5 lengths behind Judgment Day. Always looks the part. And what sort of a chance do you give it?
Yeah, Cecil. You know, I'm of the opinion his last start behind the Playboy Bomber is his best start to date. But if you go back to the Volta Fast Run, Park Place actually beats it. And Park Place obviously has a 1.5 kg pull in its favor now.
Yeah.
So I don't think there is going to be much separating the two of them. They both had their chances. Number 2 had Furious, and number 3 Global Reef.
Yeah.
Both showed improvements in their last starts. Both will strip fitter this time around. That Master Ariana form line by now will know if Rock of Bismuth over Frank the form at Hollywood Bets Greyville on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And we'll also know if In a Blue Moon has Frank the form in one of the earlier races. I also like the way Thomas Nkume rides, so he'll be giving this also a chance to run on in the latter stages. And then what's interesting of here is Mr. Khan's put the blinkers and the Elamites for the gin boys on number 10, Douglas Dragon. Now, he's shown very little to date, but you never know. You never know. Maybe he's certainly looking for this extra. And then Mr. De Cock's horse, number 9, Chieftain Shield, can certainly improve. He's only had 2 starts to date.
Now, you're well versed. Am I right in saying the rider of 4 Pike Place is the trainer Luchelle Kruger?
Correct.
Okay, that'll be interesting. All right. So that is the story of a few first-time work riders, as you pointed out, with Sean Terry's first-timer in a race number 4, I think. The race 3, the first leg of the Pick 6. It'll be interesting to see how he goes. Thank you so much. Dara, I do believe that you've got a suggestion for us, and it is a trifecta box, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, and 10. And I do believe that if the likes of Douglas Dragon do show the necessary improvement, that would be a very nice trifecta to round off proceedings as we head into the weekend. And of course, it starts in the usual place. We're in Quebec for racing on the Friday. Look forward to talking to Nino Podesta as we preview racing from Fairview.